Hello everyone, this is an update to the lighting tutorial. Occasionally I'm going to make updates. You know, knowledge changes, things change. I'm going to give out some tips and tricks. I'm going to give out some product reviews, that sort of thing. This one's going to be a mixture. I'm going to have a few tips and tricks, a few product reviews, that sort of thing. And product reviews are not little Dragon Models LVT1A1s either, you know, in Braille scale. I'll probably build this sometime soon because it looks like a really nice little kit. That's neither here nor there. Up first, we're going to do a product review. Model Man Tom sent me one of these. He sent me two of them, actually. He calls them LED towers. He's going to get them made in different colors. This one's white. Okay, they're 12 volt. Now the bad part is the positive and negative on them are not marked, so you will have to guess. And I should have done that before I started recording for you guys, but anyhow, let's see what happens. Yep, I got it backwards. It's okay with LEDs. If you get the voltage backwards, you don't do them any harm. It's just if you use too much voltage, it's a problem. These things are designed primarily for cars, so they run on 12 volts. Alright, let's turn it on. Yeah, let's turn this off. You can see they throw out quite a bit of light, and they throw it out in every direction. Okay? I could use a couple of these to light up underneath my desk just fine down here. A couple of them would do it. Not much. They don't need a lot of power. And again, these were designed for cars. Oops, sorry. My tripod is stiff today. These were designed for cars. They are not designed for model building. But stop and think about it for a minute. If you're building something like the 1350 Refit Enterprise, you can stick one of these in either end of that big saucer and probably light up the whole saucer. Or the secondary hole, one of these will probably light up the whole secondary hole. Model Man Tom said he's going to give them different colors. He doesn't have that many on hand right now. He's going to sell them, he thinks, for $7.15 for one, maybe $12 for two. Not sure. Okay? And I can see some uses for this. Again, it runs 12 volts. Notice, no resistor, runs 12 volts. This is directly 12 volts on it. You don't need resistors for it. So this will be a simple way to light up a building even. Like I've got the Psycho house. So, who make that? Round two, the Bates Mansion. Okay? Put this in the center of the Bates Mansion and the entire building's lit. Easy. Okay? Just run off a 12 volt wall wart right off the bat. I got the building lit up. Good to go. So some of you model train people would really appreciate this. But anyhow, that's done with the product review part. Up next, we're going to do a tip and a trick. I got a couple of them ahead of me. Alright, let me reset what I'm doing over here. Get this pineapple LED device out of my way. Putting another LED on my power supply while I talk. Okay, that's for something I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. And I got to cut the voltage over to something that won't kill that LED. There we go. Speaking of which, I know some of you are intimidated by doing a lighting project. There's some workarounds. Okay, this is something I haven't told anyone, and I know some other people have done it as well, and that's to take two AA batteries, right here, okay, two AA batteries and a little battery holder. You can get these battery holders at Radio Shack for a couple of bucks. You can get them off eBay, Jamco Electronics, DigiKey, you know, your favorite electronic support supplier. You can get these things. They're not expensive. Two AA batteries provides 3 volts. The fun part here is that blue LEDs, white LEDs, this is my LED box by the way, take, you guessed it, 3 volts, 3.2. So by doing this, I don't need resistors. So those of you that have been a little intimidated about lighting, you can do this. You can put headlights in a car. They won't blink. 3 volts won't work with any of the blinking circuits. It would work with some of the pre-wired self-blinking LEDs. But 3 volts will work with this. And I've got a white LED in hand. You can see it just lights right up. Here, let me kill my overhead lighting. Let me drop the camera down so you can see what it is I'm doing. The battery box right here. You can see it lights it right up. No resistor, straight off the battery. You would be able to see if I wired a resistor on that. Just straight off the battery, lighten her up. Now, this thing will handle up to 10 different LEDs easily. 2 AA batteries will light 10 white or blue LEDs for 27 hours. 1 LED for 2,700 hours. I didn't even stop to think about that. 2,700 hours. Let's figure out how long that is. 1 LED will light for 112 days. You can put 2 batteries in there, 1 LED. Heck, if you did 2 LEDs, that's 60 days for headlights on a car. For 60 days, you can leave that thing running and your headlights will lit on your car model. Okay? What about taillights? They're red. I don't have any red paint. I'll show you that in a second. But different colors can be achieved by taking your white LED, I'll get some light back on the subject, and use some of these acrylic clear paints. I've got yellow here, green here, blue here. I have red someplace. I don't know where it wandered off to. And I have orange as well. And again, I don't know where those 2 wandered off to. But all you do is you dunk your LED in the paint, let it dry, then you have a blue LED. Keep dunking it and change the color of blue. You know, you can intensify the color of blue. So these 3 colors right here, well, these 2 colors right here, green and yellow, require 1.9 volts. Now you can take a 3 volt, change its color with the clear paint, and you have a yellow LED. And you don't have to mess with resistors if you use your AA battery box. So it really simplifies your lighting, okay? Another thing I've seen some people doing is getting a coin button cell, a 3.2 volt button cell. That'll work too, but those button cells don't produce enough power to keep it lit for long. You'll be switching in and out those button cells quite often. Whereas these guys, again, 10 LEDs, this will power them for 27 hours. That's not bad. You know, you don't leave your models on all the time. I built a Viper from Battlestar Galactica. It has 5 LEDs in it. I built that 2 years ago and it's still on the same set of batteries, and sometimes I just turn it on and leave it overnight. They just don't drain the batteries. Okay? So there's that tip. 2 AA batteries, white or blue only LEDs, no resistors. Up to 10, very reasonable life. So, you know, if you don't want blinking lights, it's one way to go. Okay? The next one is this. I have this guy. I also have a UFO mystery ship, a whole bunch of other stuff. Glow-in-the-dark models. I haven't built any yet because I'm worried about the seams on them. And I guess I just can't worry about the seams if I'm going to do what I want. One of the problems with these, and I've kept her sealed in the box for a reason, is you charge it up under a bright light, they glow for like 3-5 minutes and they're done. Okay? That's not a lot of fun. So what can we do with model lighting to fix that? Well, and keep in mind, what I'm about to show you will work with this. You could get 2 AA batteries and do this real easily. The AAA batteries will light your models just as well too. They take up less space, but they won't last as long. The AAA batteries will only last 24 hours for 10 batteries, for 10 LEDs. So you're losing 3 hours there. I know, you're suffering 3-hour loss by switching to smaller batteries. You know, but that isn't all that bad when you really comes down to it. Anyhow, let's get back to this. I got my interplanetary UFO mystery ship. It glows in the dark. Okay? So I'm going to get out part of it. I'm not doing a kit review. This box is open previously. What I want to do is just get a couple of pieces. They're already loose in the bag. I've had this thing for a little while. This isn't the original one. I wish it was. I built the original ship years upon years ago when I was a kid. It's one of the reasons why I got this immediately. Yes, I'm just tearing it off the sprue, and we know we're not supposed to do that. Alright. I have the neck of the ship. Now, I got the neck for a reason. Okay? You guys can see. I'm going to go cut the way overhead light, so it's going to get pretty dim in here. We're just going off the light from my computer monitor now. I'm going to cut that off too. So now we're doing ambient lighting. I got a 3-watt LED illuminating the back wall of this room. This is not glowing to speak of. What I have in my power supply over here is a UV LED. They run on 3.2 watts. You can see it's not very bright. That's because its primary output's UV. This plastic, however, lights up for UV very well, and you can see it's glowing. Okay, I showed this to hands 3 and 4 a little while ago, and she's like, wow. And I've got the seam side towards you guys, and the fun part is this like supercharges this stuff. Okay, and I was showing this to her earlier too. I just take and run this along there, and you can see where that LED ran right along the plastic. Like I can kind of write on it. Alright, and this really charges it, and I could see only putting like 2 or 3 LEDs inside the entire ship, maybe 5. If you aim them correctly, you would get a nice glow out of this thing sitting in the corner. 4 or 5 LEDs would last you a month, and you'd have a nice little night light going for about a month on 2 AA batteries. Pretty cool, huh? I think it is. Just in case you want to see something else, let's get the whole of the UFO mystery ship out of its bag. Let's see what that looks like with an UV LED stuck in between the pieces of the hull. And I discussed this with Model Man Tom, and he told me I will have one singular problem with this, and I agree with him. And I'll explain that in a minute. But put that in the hole. Yeah, you're going to need a few of them in there, but not a whole heck of a lot suspended in the middle. You can see it's lighting that hole up pretty good. And if you follow down the tips of the LEDs for light dispersal so you don't get the spotlight effect, I'll put a photo of what that looks like at the end of the video. You put that in there, you will distribute the light very uniformly throughout this model. Now here's the problem. I'm shining this light directly at the wings. Those wings are not lighting up. No matter how much I shine the light directly at the wings from the inside, they are not going to light up a whole heck of a lot. All I'm doing is achieving a bright spot in there. So you'll never get the wingtips lit. So what you could do is have like a planetary base lighting up from underneath with the LED pointing at it like this. And you can see how you're going to get the lighting, the wingtips to light up that way. Okay? Just pointing at her from underneath, kind of spotlight like that. Here, let's use the wing that's not being illuminated right now. So you have 3 or 4 of them spotlighting her from underneath, a couple inside. You'd have a pretty neat little diorama going with the UFO mystery ship, and she will be self-lit. You won't have to rely on glow-in-the-dark, late at night stuff. Okay? So, in conclusion, talked with Model Man Tom. He kind of pointed this my way a little bit, this idea, and I've just kind of expanded on it. I mean, he just said he had UV LEDs. I said something, he sent me something he was planning on doing already. So it's kind of like we both thought of it at the same time sort of thing. If you look, I'll put some photos at the end of this. He did it with the Tholian Web Enterprise, that's a glow-in-the-dark Enterprise. And he did a whole thing on the inside of it. In fact, I think he's doing a lighting kit of that model. Okay? I think he's going to do a whole lighting kit for that model. He sent me a photo or two, and I'll put them at the end of this video so you guys can see them as well. So that's the end of this little video. Lighting tips and tricks, a couple of product reviews, glow-in-the-dark models, UV LEDs. Okay, like I can charge this under a light for a little while. It glows, but it glows better with this in there. I mean, it just spotlights it. So I think the UV LEDs are going to do a better job of getting her to glow. My personally, plus you can leave that running all night and consume almost no power. I just think it's kind of neat. Can you tell I'm fascinated by it? A little bit. But anyhow, neither here nor there. I'm rambling, waffling, depending on your orientation and where you're from. Just a few little tips and tricks I wanted to throw out there. UFO mystery ship, UV LEDs, 2 AA batteries, and you can write white and blue, and the pink LEDs are 3 volts too. And don't think I was showing you guys the pink LEDs. I got a couple of those just real recently. Simply because Hands 3 and 4 wants to make a pink sign. Okay? And they are 3 volts as well. I got one in hand. Okay? As well as some of the other LEDs I've shown you guys. The flat tops, the piranhas, and a few others. Yeah, that's a pink. It's a pretty good pink color too. If I were to take a piece of white paper, wide enough, I'm dropping stuff, wide enough, you can see the pink of it. And it's operating on 3 volts as well. So you can take your AA batteries and quite literally clear paint, AA batteries, no resistors. As long as you don't want anything blinking, you know, just a few lights, like you're building a Star Wars model. An A-Wing, for instance. You could use a couple of AA batteries to power it. You could get some lights in the instrument panel. The engine's lit. That's like 3 LEDs, maybe 4. AA batteries, no resistors. Paint them the color you need. I mean, I can't make that simpler. Then all you have to do is throw a switch in there, turn them on and off. Okay? So there's your tip for lighting. A couple of products reviewed. A couple of ideas. You know, I bet I could throw this thing in the mystery ship and that thing would just light up like mad. I'm not going to try it right now. So, we'll be back. Don't forget to wait for the photos at the end. I'm going to show you what falling down an LED looks like and how that helps with light dispersal. A couple of photos from Model Man Tom. So you can see his Enterprise glowing with what he did. And that's it. I'm going to get back to model building. I got the chopper out and I'm doing some scratch building work with the chopper. I'll review that guy in a future video. But thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. This is just a short segment on the end of the lighting update. Model Man Tom sent me another sample in the mail. He's calling it double density LED tape. Okay, currently he only has it blue and white, and what you have here is basically the double density strip side by side. So you have, well, a double wide, double density strip. Okay, they only come in blue and white. It's a little on the pricey side. A foot of it is $16.95. A yard is $44.95. Okay, that's 3 feet of this stuff. But turn it on, and you can see you're getting quite a bit more light out of it. It's double the light. Okay, and I'm actually thinking of putting that on the back of my Millennium Falcon, simply because that's what the engine output looks like on the Millennium Falcon. If I can find some paint that sticks to the silicon he has over the top of the strip, and it'll stick to it fine, then all I have to do is tape off each one of those LED output emitters. Okay, and let's zoom back up where you can see me, and then I don't have a good connection on it, can you tell? It's just clipped, and it's clipped through that silicone, so that's why it's flickering. This has nothing to do with the LED tape itself. It's my connection, because I was lazy. I didn't put it on there right. You can see it's kind of bright. It's illuminating me, and it's daylight outside, and I have some pretty bright overhead LED lights. Okay, put the desk light on. You're still getting the bluish glow, and you can see that against the desk light. The camera, digital cameras don't handle that sort of thing very well. A still camera would handle it better. But anyhow, I'm thinking of putting that on the back of the Millennium Falcon simply because I was going to double up normal blue. With that, I won't have to double up normal blue. Okay? With that, I'll be able to just run one strip around the whole back end. And here's something else. This is the Blue Moon resin kit I have in front of me. A couple of things with the Blue Moon kit. One, this grid right here is for the back of the Falcon to simulate the engine output tube. It doesn't line up with these LEDs in the least bit. I already took a look. No, they don't line up. But I can take this, and if I space it just right behind it, if I can keep her lit up, that is. And it's because, again, I did a lazy connection. Alright. But if I zoom in on this, so the camera sees nothing but it. You can see I am getting a nice effect out of that. That's short. You can see I'm getting a nice effect out of that. Okay? Just a little bit back, and you're not seeing those. The clip finally came off. You're not seeing the LED hotspots too badly. Alright? So anyhow, I think I've got my lighting solution for the Millennium Falcon's engine figured out. I'm going to use some of this double density, double D tape, and use this resin insert over the top of it with just about an inch distance in. That means I don't have much light block to do on the back of that engine. It means a whole bunch of things got real nice and easy for me. Not much of light blocking. I don't have to build a light box, so to speak. That sort of thing. It'll all go really well, really quick. So anyhow, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get this video published and live. Alright? So, see you guys in a bit.